Hello everyone and welcome back guys to episode 5 of our F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, where today we're here back for the Dutch Grand Prix. Yes, a new race at a new Formula 1 circuit once again, twice in 3 at the moment. I do find it quite fun, yeah, that you get all the new tracks at the start of the season. But quickly before we jump into that though, obviously need to do some general management around the team. We're going to upgrade the quality control on the chassis department this time round. Improve failure chance obviously again by 10%. Obviously we're trying to get as many upgrades as we can on the car at the moment, so obviously getting as many of those on as possible is certainly the way we need to go. In terms of upgrades though, we've still got another 2 currently going on at the moment. We should get the rear wing and the chassis upgrade on the car in the very, very near future. Next upgrade I'm going to be looking at is going to be one of the bigger ones on the engine to try and get us to the best engine in Formula 1 before, obviously, inevitably someone else puts another upgrade on their car at the same time. But yeah, very, very much looking forward to jumping into this weekend, though. Obviously, quick few other things. We've got to try and get, obviously, some stuff on the car as well. We could do, let's do an aerodynamics equipment upgrade. That's going to give us 30 resource points as well. That should fill up a little bit of time. And then on the 26th, we will do some... what shall we do, actually, on the 26th? We can do a couple of little things, actually. We'll go with race... no, we won't go with race simulations, actually. We will go with power team building. And then also, we will go with some... let's go with some G-force training as well for our teammate there. So busy, 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 as you would probably expect. We should hopefully get a couple of upgrades on the car as well. There we go. So getting a bit more like that. The quality control upgrade has been upped as well. And then we've also got a press interview. So he's waiting for you in the press area. Let's dive into this then. Wasn't expecting that.
Well, it's great to be back at your headquarters, and I've got to say, an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful?
So here we go then, a few interesting questions coming from Mr. Will Buxton. To be honest, Jordan King's done alright. He was very, very unlucky last time out of the Spanish Grand Prix. Chinese Grand Prix. So, you know, we invested our staff here. So long as they put in the effort, we will support them. And yeah, hopefully, obviously, we just got to try and build up the team around us, everything like that.
New second driver. How are they settling in?
So again, we're just going to try and build up Jordan as much as possible. Hopefully build up his acclaim level, everything like that.
The Constructors' Championship this season, or just for points?
I think we're going for... we're still developing as a team, but we're hoping for plenty of points. But yeah, we'll go with that one as well. Obviously, there's a long, long way to go. We don't want to be too optimistic.
Getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
So again, they've really been putting hours on the simulator. We're making progress. I think we can push them harder. Our investment in your staff is so important in the sport. Yeah, we'll big them up once again there.
What are your predictions for your team going into this season?
So it's a bit late to be asking that, I'll be honest, Will. We're already 4 rounds into the season. But let's see what we can do. I'm hoping for plenty of points. Seems fair.
Thanks so much, as ever, for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
So there we go. Big man Will Buxton making all the appearances in this series. But obviously Zandvoort is a track we have raced at already on F1 2020. We did a 100% race around there last night. If you missed out on that video, I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. And then also, obviously, we did do the quick program as well last weekend. Before last week's race at China. We did the sponsorship thing there in the RB6. But yeah, 403 R&D points then. Still running very, very low on cash at the moment, however. So we do need to be careful about that. We need about 1,100 to be able to get the next upgrade on the car. And the only way we're going to be able to earn those points is by jumping into practice here at Zandvoort. Here we go then, ready to kick off qualifying here from the all-new Zandvoort circuit. I'll be honest, I really do quite enjoy doing laps around this place. Racing, however, I think is going to be a very, very different story. It very much feels like it's going to be a Monaco-style Grand Prix. So qualifying is going to be absolutely everything here. I will obviously let you guys ride on board with my fastest qualifying lap. But yeah, it's so satisfying when you get a lap hooked up round here. I learnt that from practice. Let's see what we can do, though. This corner, probably my favourite on the lap, leaving in 7th gear on the way in. A lot of understeer that time round. That certainly wasn't what I had in mind. But yeah, it's just a roller coaster around here. It's nice to have an old school circuit back on Formula 1 as we've made a hash of this lap. So first lap then, we made a bit of a hash of it, in all honesty, but second time's a charm. Let's see what we can do around this circuit. Yeah, we're so bad, we've only been able to split the Williams so far, but last time out of China, I felt like we had a good chance of making it through to Q2. This time round, if we can make it sort of 16th, 17th, 18th, I'll probably be quite happy, to be honest. Don't think this track's going to suit our car all too well. Coming down in towards the final couple of corners and to finish off my second lap. Oh my god! Not quite the way we wanted to end it. We'll be heading back to the pit lane for that one then. That was quite a scary moment, I'll be honest. The banking clearly testing us to the maximum of both our own and the car's abilities. We've only got one more shot to do this then. We're going to have to make our third run count. Here we go then. This has now effectively become a one-shot quali here at the new Zandvoort circuit. We made too many mistakes earlier on in the session, so we've got to try and get it hooked up now. 2 minutes left on the clock. Let's do this thing. Right on board then for a lap here of Zandvoort through the banking to kick off a lap. It's such a radical circuit. It's so cool. I'll be honest. Downing towards him. I'm going to brake just after the 100-metre board. Try and get as close to that curbing on the inside. Use up all the curbing on the exit. We've got cars exiting the pit lane though. That's not going to help us unless they get out of the way. It is our teammate Jordan King, so hopefully he does so. Not too many places to get out of the way though around this circuit, rather annoyingly.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap or that's qualifying over for us.
Don't be on the radio to me, be on the radio to our teammate, telling him to get out of the way. Come on. Oh, just not quite where I wanted him to be. I think this qualifying session's a bit of a write-off, I'll be honest. Now he's just sat on our bumper. Not happy, I'll be honest, but we're still a 10th up, so we'll see what we can find through the in towards final sector. Oh, chucked it in a bit too late. It's all gone wrong. It's not going to be the start we needed to the weekend here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Are we going to be able to find any time through the final corner? Nope, we've ran wide again. We'll get out of the way of our teammate. That has not been good. Has no idea what is King doing. I've got no idea what our teammate's doing. But not the qualifying session we needed. It's going to be P21 at best here for the Dutch Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc down in the 109s at the end of qualifying there. That is some fantastic pace coming from the top of the AI runners. But we're last on the grid ready for tomorrow's Grand Prix. This is the problem with such a tight little circuit like Zandvoort here. There's just no room for people like my teammate to get out of the way in the first place, and then obviously if you can't get it hooked up, just a couple of small mistakes here and there really did cost us at the end of the day. So it is going to be a last question mark challenge then here in Zandvoort. Not an easy track to overtake at. I think, to be honest, we might be in for a long Grand Prix, but we shall wait and see. I'll see you guys on the grid.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of a 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Alexander Albon, and Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Giovinazzi, and Kimi Raikkonen, Grosjean, Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez, Stroll, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat, and Esteban Ocon, King, Russell, Latifi, and Mr. Monaco. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So the team, once again, aiming for another top 10 finish, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think we'll need a lucky safety car if we can be achieving those sorts of results at this stage of the season. But yeah, not quite the qualifying session that we wanted, in all honesty. It's, I think, the first time this season anyone but Latifi started at the back of the grid, obviously minus grid penalties and all of that. But it's looking like a fairly simple one-stop softs to hards. We might try and see if we can get the mediums, depending on how well the softs last in this Grand Prix. But yeah, I think, to be honest, we're in for a long race ahead of us, stuck behind other cars. Let's try and get past the Williams early on and then see how we fare from there. I'm excited, though. 36 laps ahead of us around the new Dutch Grand Prix circuit. Let's hope that today we can make history. Ready, on the grid. Round 5 of the 2020 F1 season is 5 red lights, it's lights out, and away we go. Everyone just moving around on the run down towards turn 1. We were just trying to manage the wheel spin as we're going to go late on the brakes. Try and, like I said, get round the Williams as early as possible here. And Russell's going to do that. Just barge us off the road. Why not, eh? But anyway, down into the next hairpin. We'll try and hook it up around Latifi. And Latifi's going to slam the door shut on us. The AI are playing aggressive today. They're not my best friends, as qualifying clearly proved as well. But we've survived the start, just. No places made up just yet. But as we head down in towards the middle sector, you can see everyone. Constantine is up the inside of Latifi. We'll go for the big send. He still tried to turn in on us, despite being pretty much in front of him. But we made it work. Next up is Russell.
That's a decent start. Good job.
At the final corner, try and get a bit of a slingshot on the Williams driver. Might be able to do something. He's aware of us as we head down in towards 1. Try to get later on the brakes. Swoop round the outside, perhaps. George Russell does this time give us the room, but we're going to be on the outside for turn 2. We've done it, though. I passed the Williams at the start of the Grand Prix. It took much longer than I was hoping it would, but we've finally got there. Next up, Ocon. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried about the engine at the moment. The ICE is up to 62%, so we're definitely going to have to change that out before we head to the next Grand Prix. I think we're at Spain for the next race of the season, so we might have to get a couple of fresh engine parts on the car for that. As you can see, even the Williams, which is normally a boat down the straights, very much gaining on us at the moment, which, I mean, a tough Grand Prix anyway, starting from the back, is going to be made even tougher.
Beware that we will start to see a loss of power.
So the team there warning us about the ICE as well. But yeah, at the moment, I think it's just one of those races we're going to have to grit our teeth and just get on with it. We shall wait and see. Oh, yellow flag's out. Someone's going slowly in Sector 1. Who's it going to be? Oh no, it's gone now.
Okay, clear.
Someone clearly having temporary issues there. But at the moment though, we can't even shake Russell. We're not really keeping up with Ocon either. We need to get a new engine in the back of this car. But yeah, I think, to be honest, I don't want to call it too early, but this race feels like a bit of a write-off at the moment. Not even a quarter of the way in yet. Got to remain optimistic. I'm enjoying the track still, though. Look at the positives. George Russell has just dive-bombed me, and he's pulled it off. This was not what I was expected to say after 3 points finishes in a row.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button.
As Jeff's just saying, we've got a lot of spare energy though, so we're going to try and come back in at the final corner. He goes defensive on us. We'll look to the outside. We're putting so much stress through the engine, but We make it work. Save our embarrassment for another lap. First of the AI to dive into the pits then. We've got Giovinazzi, Sainz and one of the Red Bulls. Verstappen, obviously homeboy this weekend. I'm sure he wants to try and get a good result. And, I mean, he's already got a pit stop advantage over us in a third of this Grand Prix. We're struggling with tyre temps as well at the moment on the front left. Perhaps we need to stop locking it up into there, might be helpful. But, yeah, we're going to have to dive it in soon. I wanted to see if I can try and get these to about lap 15 and then go on to a set of the mediums, but I don't know at the moment. Inevitably, even more cars into the pits. What position are we going to be up to, albeit only temporarily? Going to come out right near Hamilton in this Grand Prix. We're going to get round Hamilton. Remember the P11, so we're still not even inside the points at the moment. But yeah, I want to try and get these tyres 2 more laps. I feel sorry for Hamilton being stuck behind us, but we're not moving. He's got to get round us. There we go. Hamilton, see you later, mate.
Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well.
Okay, do that instead. Come on, get on with it, Mercedes, man. What I meant to say was, come on, get on with it. You're in a Mercedes, man. We now got Sainz all over the back of us and Lando. Teammates in.
Jordan is coming in for a stop.
But we're going to have to stay out one more lap. I don't really want to hold up unless I need to. Oh god, that's way too late into one. That's going to be an open door for Sainz. We're back down to 9th. Not really interested in holding Lando up either, to be honest. He's going to fly past us. Into turn 1, we're just going to try and lose ourselves as little time as possible. Sainz has now got issues, so we might get back towards him over this lap, but we are going to be pitting in this time round.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Have we got any change on the front wing? I don't think we need to, do we? No, we've only got a dink on the front wing, but yeah, those front tyres, 75% worn now. But hopefully, on the mediums, we might have a bit of a pace advantage. The hards don't really work around here, at least in my experience.
For a new strategy option.
Well, nowhere. Just seems very, very weird at the moment, but sometimes new circuits do that in Formula 1. Anyway, into the pits we must go. You can brake so late into it. That late, pretty much. That was as close as I'm ever going to get it. Yellow flag's out, though. One of the Williams has gone round, so we might still be ahead of him. I didn't even think that we might get undercut by them. Russell's dropped it. 2.1 second stop.
Only one stop to go. One stop
very short pit lane around here, but very, very tight on exit, and then you've got to be careful. I tried to rejoin there. Got to stay on this side of the line until there. But we are going to be still out ahead of the Williams. But, what's that? 6 seconds behind Gasly. More yellow flags out. That's someone. Who's that going slowly? It appears to be Danny Kvyat in the AlphaTauri. Going very, very slowly. Oh, he's collected his teammate. He's collected Pierre Gasly there, so not what the AlphaTauri team need. Kvyat's out. Gasly, does he have damage? Yes, he does. We almost run into the back of him. But we're up into P18 all of a sudden. Rather surprisingly, no safety car for that. Could this be the first race all season we haven't had a safety car? Who would have thought that heading to this track? More yellow flags. What's going on now then in this race? Perez, I think, is having issues. What's going on to the racing point? Sergio Perez at the Grand Prix, sat on the racing line. That's surely a safety car. 2 cars out though in 2 laps. No safety car? No safety car by the looks of it. I'm very, very surprised by that, unless Perez can get it moved out of the way.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
Pretty much now at 2/3 race distance, we're trying to close down the gap to our teammate Jordan King. Every lap I hear people going through the hairpin, and I hope it's someone in the pit lane, but it just isn't the case at the moment. After those couple of DNFs, it all seems to have settled down again. But yeah, the gap to my teammate, we're just pushing like crazy to see if we can bring it down enough. But getting to him is one thing, getting past him is certainly another. Less than 10 laps to go then of this Grand Prix. We're still just trying to close down Jordan King. We're managing the ERS, managing the fuel. The team were talking about trying to come in again onto a set of softs, but I think we get stuck behind Latifi, and I don't fancy our chances of getting ringed in all honesty at the moment, rather worryingly. But let's see if we can still just try and close up on my teammate. We've got half a lap of spare fuel, next to no ERS though, however, so we close up down the front straight, and then lose time through that little flag section, and then gain a bit more through the corners.
The turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
What use is that radio message, Jeff? How is that helpful? Let's try and keep mileage on it to a minimum. What you suggested, we take service roads back round? Start doing the short version of Zandvoort? How is that helpful? Anyway, not long to go in this race. However, the engine's packing up, so we're basically going to need a fresh one for the next Grand Prix. But yeah, really struggling at the moment. We take a bit of time out of Jordan King, and then he pulls away a bit. Just ebbs and flows. You know what? I think we are just going to dive into the pits. It's not like we're on the cusp of points or anything. We may as well try and feel like a god among men for a few laps towards the end of this Grand Prix. We need something. And if we can have a decent lap, I'll be quite happy with that. 6 laps to go, though. Again, just so I get to slow down into the pit lane. I think we might legitimately get lapped here. And that has been a raw pace alone. We have definitely been the second slowest car today. Only quicker than the Williams, but I think we're going to remain out ahead of Latifi. Yeah, there's a very good chance we're going to get lapped when all is said and done, though, here. Not been a successful day at the office. Let's go for one attacking lap, then, here of Zandvoort. It hasn't been a particularly successful weekend, but I must admit, I'm still loving this circuit. It is brilliant fun to get it hooked up. Let's go for a sweat lap.
Some wear on the MG UK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode. Our gap to the car in front is 15.8 seconds.
At the final corner, let's see what this time can be. Somewhere good. Somewhere around the 12s, I'm going to say. Yeah, 12.6. Fastest final sector. No idea how far off the fastest lap we are, but Charles Leclerc isn't far behind us. That's not where we want to be. That gravel trap seems to be a lot closer than it looks on the exit, the first couple of corners there. But yeah, I think Charles Leclerc's going to lap us pretty much at the end of this race. There goes Charles Leclerc into, well, I say into the lead, into a lap ahead of us in this Grand Prix. This, therefore, next lap will be the final one here from Zandvoort. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit gutted. I wanted to give you guys a better race than this. Obviously, new circuit again, just like Vietnam. That one gave us an absolute cracker. Unfortunately, shredded engine, as you can see on the graphic. There was always going to be a tough Grand Prix with that. This track doesn't really suit our car either, which again was never going to help as Charles Leclerc put salt in the wound there. New fast lap of the Grand Prix. So we're only about 3/10 off that in the end. But yeah, just gutted, to be honest. I felt like I really like this track. I'll be honest, it's not the best for racing at, but to get a good lap in just feels incredible around here. And yeah, I just wanted to put on more of a show for you guys at the end of the day. But that's Formula 1 sometimes. You know, we've had 3 points finishes in a row. That streak was always going to come to an end. You know, we'd been incredibly lucky, and unfortunately this track has really exposed all of this car's weaknesses and sort of brought us back to earth in a sense of just realising how much more work there is to go
Blue flag.
with this car. I mean, we're only 5 races in to a new Formula 1 team. It's very rarely sunshine and rainbows, but we've survived nonetheless. The engine
There's only 1 lap of fuel
just,
remaining.
I suppose. But Charles Leclerc is going to make it 4 wins from 5. Ferrari still unstoppable in Big 2020. They have had an incredible run of form so far this season. They very much look like they're going to end Mercedes' dominance in the sport at the moment. But at the final corner, though, is 17th at the end of the day. By far and away, our worst result of the season.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A difficult race then on a circuit that demands complete concentration, but they persevered to take the win here today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So there we are then, the end of the Dutch Grand Prix here from Zandvoort. Like I said, really wanted to put on a better show for you guys, but that's racing sometimes. Just really struggled. Somehow, though, 5th driver of the day in the row. Not too sure how we managed that. I'm guessing, obviously, we made 5 places, which is more than anyone else could manage in today's Grand Prix. But another race done. Another Ferrari 1-2. The domination doesn't look to be ending any time soon there. Bottas picks up the final podium place and the fastest lap even, to get some extra points on the board for Mercedes there. Verstappen, I'm sure he's gutted to miss out on a podium at his very first home Grand Prix there. With Albon only a second behind him at the end of the day. Hamilton all the way down in P6. Lando Norris, best of the rest, of a good job done by him ahead of Giovinazzi and Raikkonen. I'm sure Alfa are happy to be getting both cars back into the points, with Magnussen getting Haas's first point of the season as well. I'm sure they're very happy with that, if I'm not mistaken now. Obviously, only Williams yet to leave the markers there. Daniel Ricciardo in 11th, just missing out at the end of the day ahead of Stroll, Sainz, Ocon, Grosjean, my teammate Jordan King. And I think that's the first time he's beaten us this season as well there. Latifi and Gasly, as well as Russell, the last of the finishes there. And yeah, only the bottom 4 of us that ended up a lap down when all is said and done. Perez and Kvyat both not making it to the end of the Grand Prix. They're a very tough day out for AlphaTauri at the end of the day. But in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Bottas now moves himself up to what I'm now dubbing best of the rest behind the Ferraris. He jumps back past his teammate and Verstappen, who are now once again tied on 59 points. We somehow still hold on to P8 in the championship, but a long way now off Lando Norris in P7. Raikkonen jumps past Sainz. Giovinazzi jumps past Gasly and Sergio Perez there. And you can see Magnussen has now left Jordan King, Romain Grosjean, Kvyat, Latifi and Russell. You're just waving goodbye to them as they are still on 0 points there at the end of the day. Unfortunately for us though, Alfa Romeo have now re-jumped us back up into P6 in the in the Constructors' Championship. It's going to be a hard effort to see if we can move back past those guys by the end of the season there. I was quite surprised, to be honest, with how strong they've been, that they're only 6th at the moment. But we're still ahead of Racing Point, AlphaTauri, Haas and Williams at the end of the day there. Ferrari 59 points clear after just 5 races. Who will stop them? Maybe next time we'll find out. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, do make sure you get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow, ready, I think, for the Spanish Grand Prix.